What's up, guys? Blade Master here. Going to be bringing you a Blade Balance online battle in Total War Warhammer. But more specifically, this is going to be a very excited first impressions of the GTX 1070. I bought the Gigabyte G1 GTX 1070 from all that YouTube monies. No, I'm just kidding. This makes me almost nothing. But anyway, Christmas came early for me. Christmas is celebrated in July in the desert. And I bought myself a GTX 1070. And look at this. Look at this. Everything is so smooth. 1080p. And literally everything that you can crank up to Ultra is cranked up to Ultra. This is going to be a Dwarfs versus Empire battle, and probably a much better benchmark of the game's performance than the usual stuff that it or the usual benchmark that you can run off of the options, because this is going to show you a lot of units at the same time, a lot of explosions. Let's go ahead and see the cannons from the dwarves destroying some of the armies, some of the Empire soldiers brought by Cicero from the Aima clan. He's the one taking the Empire. I have taken the dwarves, and I brought a couple of cannons. He's brought a Luminarch of Hish, as you can see here. That should deal a lot of damage, and honestly is a very good option to bring against the dwarves because of their lack of maneuverability. They'll be able to pose very easy stationary targets for the Luminarch of Hish. I haven't made too many changes in the Blade Balance mod to the dwarves yet. I do plan on changing a lot of their units. As you see, two Demigryph Knights getting slaughtered by a solitary cannonball. Probably the best counter to Demigryph Knights, especially if the Empire player is deciding to take his time and move up his Luminarch of Hish to fire some of its magical lightning bolts on to the dwarf player. So if he's going to take his time, I'm definitely going to take my time. I've brought a master engineer to help my cannons as they decide to start firing onto the Luminarch of Hish, and for good measure, because that bolt is probably going to kill off a fair few of my units. Well, it didn't really. It just hit some of the, I believe, Iron Drakes. No, miners with the blasting charges. I brought Iron Drakes with troll hammer torpedoes, one of them in front of them. Dwarf warriors with great weapons stand up as the front line. I've brought a couple of Thunderers, and of course Grimgor Ironhide. Sorry, wait, that's the other guy. Ungrim Iron Fist as the legendary lord for the dwarves. One more Luminarch of Hish bolt searing through the dwarf warriors with great weapons, hitting a few of them and definitely damaging quite a bit of Ungrim Iron Fist there. But he is hale and healthy. Honestly, I wanted to use one of the other mods that's there in the Steam Workshop, which gives the dwarves much better shields, and their armor looks much better with that mod. I'll leave a link to the mod in the description anyways. But the cannons here rumbling and firing through the squads of spearmen up in front. I don't really know what lord this is. Just looks like a regular lord probably. I don't think this is Karl Franz. Maybe this is. Not too sure. Anyways, there are crossbowmen behind, and they're firing into my cannons. Probably this is a bad idea, but on my end, keeping the cannons up there. But anyways, they've done quite a bit of damage already, and the spearmen are going to charge up against stationary dwarf warriors with great weapons, and the dwarf warriors with great weapons should be able to do plenty of damage against the spearmen, especially with their armor-piercing damage from the two-handed axe. On the far side, I've kept my Iron Drakes with Troll Hammer torpedoes ready for the Reichsguard on my left flank. And on the right flank, the Demigryphs have already charged into what looks like miners. The blasting charges didn't really do much, and the Empire Knights as well charging in and hitting a lot of the miners. Their poor morale is going to show very soon as they decide to start routing. The dwarf warriors with great weapons, of course, going to slaughter the spearmen, and the Demigryph Knights, meanwhile, rear charging the dwarf warriors and destroying them in the process. The miners with blasting charges basically killed a lot of the Thunderers, which honestly wasn't a good idea, obviously. But now the Empire Knights are moving away. I've moved back some my cannon units, and I really want to showcase the Troll Hammer torpedoes, but it's already dealt its damage. The Empire Knights got slaughtered by the Troll Hammer torpedoes. So poor commentary and poor use of my camera right there. The Great Swords slaughter, of course, my Dwarf Warriors with great weapons, but they do take a bit of damage, and I think it's partly because of the Thunder, as I'm sure. The 100 armor of the Great Swords isn't going to mean too much to the Thunderers with their incredible armor-piercing damage. I believe this is some of the Troll Hammer torpedoes firing in from the far side. and it is much more of an anti-large weapon, but it will do a decent bit of damage against great swords. And the more I can pierce the great swords' armor, the better, the easier or the quicker I can kill them off, and the easier it is for me to win this battle. The dwarf warriors with great weapons now engaged by the enemy lord, and he is going to do a lot of damage to them, but he is going to be in the firing range of a lot of my thunders. As you can see, one of my thunders already getting prepared to attack into into him, but they aren't laying fire just yet. Meanwhile, the miners with blasting charges killing off the last of the demigryph knights. They weren't able to make their impact nearly as much as they usually could, because they were targeted by the cannons from the start of the game. The Empire Knights, though, rear charging, and I'm using my thunderers to just shoot point blank shots into the Empire Knights, and they're going to fall very, very quickly. Beautiful charge there, destroying some of the thunders, keeping Ungrim Iron Fist ahead of my thunderers while they pour in the fire onto the enemy lord. He's taken so much damage here. The Iron Drakes with Troll Hammer torpedoes getting a few crucial volleys onto him before he charges into them and then runs away. He is just about ready to rout. And the dwarf line basically holds strong. The dwarf warriors with great weapons got a lot of kills on the spearmen. The great swords did manage to deal a whole lot of damage, and I've got some miners who I'm very unwisely just using to continue pursuing the demigryphs off the field, while the Empire Knights slaughter through my thunderers while easily pulling away from Ungrim Iron Fist. The miners with blasting charges, I believe, have one more volley of explosive satchels. I don't know what to call them, but again, it's just going to hit the rear, or it's just going to fire tamely away from the Empire Knights while they charge straight into the miners with blasting charges and kill them off. A lot of the thunderers still remain, and a lot of the crossbows still remain, but the thunderers are getting slaughtered by the Empire Knights. They don't really have any answer to them. So as long as they charge into the front, I can't really do too much. The Iron Drakes with Troll Hammer torpedoes managed to do okay, but for the cost, still not very useful. They're just not very good if they get charged at by any unit. So, but the Thunderers all the way from the far side getting beautiful shots, almost sniper-like shots from the edge of the field. The crossbows have definitely made their impact noticed. They don't have the greatest missile damage, especially in terms of armor piercing, but the Luminarch of Hish as well, probably damaging a lot of the units steadily and making it much easier for the crossbows to make their impact noticed. Ungrim Iron Fist now killing off the last of the Empire Knights, while some satchel charges thrown at the Empire Knights. Let's see how long they take to explode. Doesn't look like they even explode at this point. But yeah, miners just set a casual attack order onto the Empire Knights while they run away. I still have a lot of Thunderers left, but he still has a lot of crossbows with a lot of ammo. But the Luminarch of Hish, a very expensive unit now, going to get pounded into oblivion by the Thunderers. You can see it's taken a lot of damage already. Cannons have poured into it. It's taken a few stray cannonballs to the face, to the metaphorical face, to the horse's face. The crossbows now going to take so much damage from the Thunderers. They don't have much of an answer to them. The Thunderers have got excellent armor at 80, and it's going to ensure a Pyrrhic victory. So a fun game, but more importantly, it's a first look at my GTX 1070. Oh my god, I'm so in love right now. I can't believe. So, guys, I forgot to mention, I won't be posting any videos for about 4 days because I'm going to go to Goa. Just enjoy vacation, well-earned break for Eid. I'm not sure if you guys know what it is. So you guys probably know the holy month of Ramadan, but at the end of Ramadan, at the end of fasting, it's kind of like a reward to everyone who lives in the area, even though I'm not Muslim, to go enjoy for 4 to 7 days, depends on what company you work in. If you work in a government company, you get like 10 days off, but if you work in a private company like I do, you get like 4 days off, and I'm adding on a couple of days. Actually, no, you get only like 2 days off. 2 days off and then 2 days of 2 days of weekend as well. So it's basically treated as a long weekend. I'm going to take that off and go to Goa. So most likely won't be posting any videos for about 4 days, but I'll come back in. I'm going to be fucking spamming you with these Blade Balance videos now that I have an excellent video card. Might even do a Doom Let's Play as well, now that I have a graphics card to really run it at full settings. So hope you guys enjoyed the battle. Let me know if you want to see me, put some other games content on the channel, or if you'd rather not. And stay tuned for more. Peace.